Hello again. We are charting the higher octave with two of my guests. One of them was here a year ago, Peter Holmstrom from Pete International Airport, back again, along
Hey,
with his collaborator, vocalist, Alexander Hackett from Pang Attack. Hello, guys. Thank you for joining me. Last time, Pe-
there.
last time Peter was here was last year. We were talking about this amazing album that came out last year, the third album, right, Peter?
Yep, third one.
It feels like the end of the world. I always love that title. I
Yeah,
guess I have
it's
that.
still appropriate, which
That's
is
right.
yeah.
That's so true.
It's so funny that I was concerned that I wasn't going to get the album out in time for the title to work.
Oh no, it worked. It's so perfect timing, honestly. In some well, astrologically it is I'm talking about astrologically. Of course, there's many other issues out there, but astrologically, Pluto is going to be transiting Aquarius, and that's
Okay.
it's like the beginning, like the ending of Capricorn. So
Okay.
sort of it's
Big,
like the new
big
beginning.
change, I guess.
Yeah. So I know the last time we talked, you mentioned about you're so big on collaboration,
Yeah.
and here you are with Alex collaborating and as a vocalist for this EP that's going to be released on November 29, which is perfect timing. I'll be sure to release this around that time. It's called
Perfect.
the Sea of
Right.
Eyes EP. It's going to be
Yeah.
on Little
Um,
Crowd Records.
yeah, and it ended up for I forget the exact reason, but I had to pick a different name for like Spotify and Apple and all those the streaming services. So
Hmm.
I went with the original title of the song, which was the Lamplighters. So it's the Lamplighters EP on those on streaming services.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
I was
awesome.
like, I was like racking my brains for another name, and I was just like, oh yeah, because I almost I kind of sort of regret not calling the song that because I didn't get it when you first told me that. So
Oh yeah, I remember we discussed, and I was just like, that was I had this sort of like vast sort of concept about aliens and everything. Uh, but in the end, no, Sea of Eyes is cool. I mean, it's good.
So on Bandcamp, if I go
yeah,
to Pink International, you still find it, Sea of Eyes, right?
yeah. On
Yeah.
Bandcamp, it's still the Sea of Eyes EP, and it will
Okay.
be a cassette. The physical release will be a cassette. So yeah.
Cool.
Oh, so
Nice.
tell us a little bit about your collaboration. This album was produced by Jeremy, who's been doing it for a long time for you, right? You guys
Yeah,
been
co-produce. I have to pretty much say, I mean, it is that because he essentially takes what I turn in to be mixed and then adds beats and changes things and will find melodies and just he does so much that it is a whole nother level of production. So I always say he's the co-producer.
yeah.
Uh, even though it's like he's mostly just mixing, but God, it's just so much more than that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful song. Sea
Thank
of
you.
Eyes. There's another remix version in on Bandcamp
Yeah.
by GLOK Remix.
Yeah, that's Andy Bell from Ride, the
Oh
band Ride, who did a wonderfully cool remix.
yeah, I
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
them both
awesome.
totally. And
yeah.
and Alex, you wrote the lyrics, the words, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, beautiful lyrics. So how did tell us about that collaboration, just putting that song together. It just fits so well together.
Yeah, you want to go, Pete? Or
You start.
how did it happen? I mean, God, for me, it was a complete surprise.
Hmm.
Kind of fell from the sky, and it was a very pleasant surprise. Yeah, yeah. So Peter had gotten in touch with Joe from Soons, who's an old friend from Montreal. Soons, like a electro indie freak out band from Montreal, who I know very well, and I used to play in bands with Joe. And then I guess Peter, you'd seen them in Portland and maybe like said hi and swapped emails or something?
Yeah. I had met. I think I initially been introduced via Rishi from Elephant Stone,
Okay.
another great Montreal band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and I was obsessed with Soons for a number of years, and uh, they posted a song by Pang Attack saying, "This is our friend. This is a cool song you should check out."
Yeah.
And for some unknown reason, I actually listened to the song, which I don't normally do that. And
People usually don't. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, people don't. Which is so weird to me. I try and make myself do it now because
Yeah.
there's a reason that it's not just because they're friends. It's their friends and it's good, or they think it's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, fell in love with it, and then when the ideas or when I started getting in the stage of the record making that I needed to find vocalists. I had been hearing Alex's songs and words for a while, and it just clicked one time that I should just reach out.
So yeah, I was very, very happy you did, man. That was Joe sent me a text. He's like, "Hey, Peter from the Dandy Warhols wants you to sing on his record. Write him back." I was like, "What? No way." I mean, and if you know Joe, he's very funny. Like he's very deadpan. He's very like just like kind of monotone deadpan guy. He's like, "Hey, Peter, Dandy Warhols, call him back." I was like, "Oh, okay." Um, and I don't know, it feels like a while now already. I mean, that was like just as COVID was starting, sort of thing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think the first song we like was worked on was right at the end of 2019. So
Wow, that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know it's been a bit now.
yeah, yeah.
So Peter, you wrote the melody, and then did you present it to him and said, "Hey, can you put something together with this one?"
I had come up with the chord changes and I'd put a bass line down and had a vaguely song like thing. Um and yeah, and it just after hearing what Alex had done for Out Past the Razor Wire, I knew I wanted him to work on more songs, and this was the next one that was
Hmm. So
um
Alex, you kind of knew like what Peter wanted in this album. But
Um,
those lyrics are just so I mean, they work together really well. I
yeah,
mentioned that in our first interview.
yeah.
yeah. I mean, that was a really well, Peter had sent me. He sent me first was Razor Wire, and then he
Hmm.
sent me a bunch more, and I was like, "Oh, send me some more. I'm stoked. I really want to work on some more." And I remember Sea of Eyes I think was the first one in the file,
Yeah.
and just like a 6 minute, 7 minute, expansive kind of glacial, but really dark. So I really kind of fixated on that one, and I was like, I want to do this one, but I think there was another singer set
Yeah.
to
Yeah, there was. And and he ended up not connecting with it, thank
okay.
God. Um and yeah, so it all worked out just fine.
And I
Yeah,
think the song was yeah, I know Peter, you were highly influenced by The Cure, right? The Cure's Fascination Street. And
Yeah, that was me. That bass line is me trying to do a version of Simon Gallup's bass line on that song. Uh it oddly came out like maybe The Cure does dub. Kind of, it's weird. It's an odd,
yeah,
like, kind of dub, but goth uh, bass line. So yeah, um,
yeah. And I heard, I mean, when I heard it, I thought immediately of Pornography era Cure.
yeah,
So
and that's my favorite album. That I
yeah,
um The Figurehead, right? That's my favorite song from that album.
yeah,
That's why I would connect to this song. Anybody who loves The Cure earlier
yeah,
works would understand. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I saw like synth heavy, but sort of, dark and I keep saying the word glacial, like it was kind of like cold but intense at the same time. Um, So I really wanted to have a crack at it, and yeah, really glad I did. Yeah.
And this EP is actually, if you go to Bandcamp, if people want to, they can actually purchase 3 of the songs already in there.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 will be released on November 29, right?
Yeah.
Or
There's yeah, two more of the remixes,
Mm.
uh, which are both pretty special. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it. I don't think I have that one. I can't wait to hear it. I'll just be surprised.
Yeah. Um, the um this guy I've met through um uh this mix engineer named Jags Cooner. He's been producing this band called the Holy Youth Movement, and he's the synth player. Did 2 remixes for me for the
Oh, okay. All right.
that's the HYM remix, Holy Youth Movement. Um, but he's both remixes are just fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Really, really
Sure. Yeah, it's got to be right. This is a special EP,
man.
clearly. I,
Well,
uh,
I want everything to
hello.
be like fantastic, and hopefully it is. But which I try.
I think this is my favorite song from that album. I don't know. I don't want to say, but there's a whispered poetry in the on the almost towards the end.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where the album title comes from.
Yeah.
yeah. So that was yeah, that was again. I had like a lot of fun creating like a sort of dystopian scenario, and it's like the final one of the last. I think it's supposed to be the last survivor in a sort of sci-fi dystopia who is a child who's just talking about the end of the world, wandering through the rubble and the wreckage. Um, so yeah, I had fun. As soon as Peter sent me these, I was like, oh man, I was like, my brain went into overdrive, and I had to
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Do you feel you were led by a higher being when you create things? Sometimes.
oh man, well that's a crazy question. I mean, I just saw a Leonard Cohen thing on YouTube that just it was something about that, and he was talking about exactly that about
Yeah.
you don't know where it comes from, and
Yeah, you really don't.
you have to keep your tools sharp.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the thing that that I've noticed for sure is that it's like there's months and months and months will go by where nothing happens. But
yeah,
if I'm not playing every day, it's like then those ideas don't, you know,
yeah,
when
translate.
they do come, I'm not ready, so it's like
Yeah,
I have to stay on top of it, otherwise I miss out.
yeah,
Because yeah, you don't know when the magic happens.
yeah. And I mean all the background work that you put into like learning instruments and learning how to sing and learning how to, just record demos, that's part of keeping the tools sharp so that when an idea hits you, you're able to transmit it or to something pretty close to what you were hearing. Um, and yeah, I don't know about you, Peter. I mean, I find like with age, I'm getting better at it, but
I
then,
I definitely feel like I'm getting better at it. Yeah.
yeah,
I almost feel like I'm finally hitting my stride.
yeah, yeah,
I sort of came late to the whole songwriting thing. Uh,
mm,
I didn't do much with early Dandies records. I would maybe come in with a chord change that was interesting, but
mhm.
that was the extent of it. And um, now what I'm doing is much more than that. Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
where it's like I essentially try and create a whole song without vocals,
yeah,
Mm.
but still like think of it like that, um, with changes and bridges and middle eights and whatever terminology you want to use.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the album art, which is also beautiful, can you tell us about that, Peter? I know it's Francesca Bonci,
Yeah,
and I try to follow her on Instagram. I went to Instagram and
yeah, she's great. I can't even remember how I found her. It was just I don't know, poking around on Instagram and saw her doing some cool video manipulation stuff. Um, and I think I confused her with another Italian lady that did do a video for the Dandies at one point, because Francesca has not done a video for us. Um, but then I just randomly reached out and asked if she could do the video, and um, it happened very easily. Um, she's just done 4 videos now, and all the artwork for this album cycle. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
everything she
and this is,
does. It's like got it fits the right vibe. It just fits perfectly. So
yeah,
yeah,
and it's a great album cover. Really is. It
yeah,
matches. It gives you that people want to just check it out by looking at it, you know.
should.
Mission accomplished, you
And,
know?
you know, Pete International Airport. I know it's your side project because you're Dandy Warhol. Everybody knows Dandy Warhol. And there's this project, and I know the last time we talked, you were saying, this is some people don't know that I have this. They don't know. I can't believe they don't know. They gotta wake up and you know, uh,
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that how do you get anybody to pay attention to anything these days? It's like you'd think that there would be a decent portion of Dandy's fans that would like what I do just because. Um, but for some reason, it seems impossible for them, for me to somehow reach them, even with access to the Dandy's social media.
oh
It's
well,
it's very strange. It's just like it doesn't connect. Same thing happened with Courtney's like comic book that he did, or graphic novel that he's done, and all of Zia's side
I
projects, and
mean,
same with Brent's side projects. It's just it doesn't seem to connect in the same way. So, I mean, there is something special about what the Dandies do, and I don't know, people get very single-minded, and that's maybe all they want.
that's kind of true, because I see that too with my other projects. People just don't. I don't know what it is. Even though you put it out there.
Yeah.
It's I can't explain that either. But I think in time, I think a little time goes by,
Yeah.
because I know
Yeah.
you're making. I mean, you're doing all these things. I mean, this is the third album, right?
Uh, yeah. Third album. Started working on the fourth. It's starting to shape up. Uh,
Yeah. And the last time we talked, you said that you wrote so many that you don't know if you're gonna release it soon or, yeah. Then that's something.
yeah, I mean, I have a good 2 records worth of song ideas, and what actually coalesces into the next record will we shall see. Um, some I'm already like going, okay, that's probably a Dandy song. That's Sun Adams, but there's still plenty of stuff for the next PIA record, and
Yeah.
it's possibly going to be a little bit lighter. I don't
Oh,
know,
really?
a little
Okay.
happier. I'm not sure.
Happier.
Yeah.
Well,
Not sure
I hope
why.
it will be
But
happier.
there's just some lighter songs that are almost pop songs, and
Nice.
kind of, I guess, in the sort of sense like the way the Cure writes pop songs, not not Taylor Swift pop songs.
It's true.
So, Peter, you've already reached out to a bunch of people, and the files are circulating.
Not quite. I mean, I've sent obviously the one to you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on
Uh,
it. I'm on it.
yeah.
Don't worry.
Jason Adams, my collaborator with Sun Adams, is working on one.
Mm.
Nice.
I know Lisa from Dark Horses will be back, and uh, possibly you'll get Alex from Black Angels back in this time around.
Cool.
He expressed some interest. I'm crossing my fingers that I still have to find the right song for him, but I have heard that Jim Reed from the Mary Chain might be interested.
What?
Or
Oh my God.
might be willing to.
Wow.
Wow.
But I have to find the right song for him because
Yeah.
And then Rachel from Slowdive is definitely back in. She wants to hear some
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
So,
And so this is something coming up.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
this is the early days, and it's like I take so long with this stuff that
You got to do it right, right?
exactly it has
And
to
the
be
right
right.
timing.
There's no point in rushing any of it
Yeah.
because it's not like it's just so much. It's just not about that. It's about making the best thing possible.
Yeah.
And I feel like I get better each record, and yeah, no,
Yeah.
so I'm
Well,
gonna keep going with it.
well, I'm sure I'll hear about it. Big shout out to Shameless Promotion PR.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Shauna's
you
amazing.
guys are in good hands.
Yeah, sure.
And in your sea of eyes, we all have the sea of eyes. I'll be looking out for it. It's a good track, and I'm looking forward to the release date, November 29. Is there a particular reason why you picked that date? The release?
No,
Oh, okay.
maybe there is, but Shauna, that would be a question for Shauna.
I
I literally said, "This is what I've got. What's the best way to release it?" How
oh, okay.
trusted her with whatever she thought was appropriate. We give her the right amount of time to do things and get everything set up. So
Yeah. And that's an EP. There's 5 tracks in there and one remix of Sea of Ice and the album version. And of course the album, which is the third album, it's out now. It came out last year.
mhm.
And it feels like the end of the world. I love that. And I hope to see you guys again. And so anything, what about for you, Alex? Anything coming up in your own
I've
stuff?
got Pang Attack has another album, which again, probably trying to figure out how to release. Um, uh, but for now, it'll just be digital release. I think in like a month or
Mhm.
two, so you can tell how organized I am. Um, that's the thing. You spend so much time, recording and writing the music, and then now in the digital age with releases, you're like, oh, what do I do? So we'll figure out some shows in Montreal for that,
Oh,
and then that'll be it. And probably the last Pang Attack album, and because we've been going for like 14 years or something, no, 13. So, but yeah, and then whatever comes next will be some sort of
mhm.
in a different form, probably. Yeah.
Oh. Well, okay. Well, I'm glad you guys are collaborating, and I look forward to the next one and more from Beats International Airport, Son Adams, Andy Warhol, and of course also your project, Alex.
Pang
If you
Attack.
wanna, I'll put a link to your
Sure.
project as well.
Yeah.
When
Yeah, please do.
and it's gonna be released on Little Cloud Records.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Anything else before anything I missed out or okay? Any secrets?
Uh, well, that Jim Reed thing was probably a secret. I probably shouldn't have opened my mouth about that quite yet, but oh well.
Well, no, good luck. I mean, I always wish the best for you guys, and I'll be sure to share this.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you for see we have scheduled this and we'll be starting right now, but
All good.
all right. Okay,
Cool.
thank you. Thanks, Pete and Alex. All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Thank you so much.